So welcome to Cairo, home of 30 million people, we were told. We landed at the airport, really nice airport, and were met by our tour guide and a driver that took us to our hotel, which we stayed at the Pyramids Valley Boutique Hotel. And I can tell you, just from the balcony there, this is the view right here of the pyramids. And so at night they put on this wonderful show, which I have in another video. And you sit outside, the weather was just beautiful, and we decided to try some Egyptian food. Here's what that looked like before we started to venture out the next day. So the second day we ventured out into Cairo and visited the Roman Tower and the Church of the Virgin Mary, also called the Hanging Church.
The Hanging Church is one of the oldest churches in Egypt, and the history of the church on this site dates to the 2nd century AD. It's called the Hanging Church because it was built on the southern of Babylon fortress, the Roman fortress of Coptic Cairo, Old Cairo that is.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool because it was explained to us that the church is on top of the Roman fortress, and what you saw there was the Roman fortress, and you can look down how deep that goes, which I don't know, that's 30 feet or more. And they said
was deep.
That was the old level of Cairo years and years ago, hundreds of years ago. So then the Hanging Church itself, it was pretty breathtaking there. Just beautiful old pictures at the first few centuries after Christ. One of the things I really found interesting is they had pictures of all of these martyrs, but they had these cases with these rolls, which they said were their personal belongings that they had back in the day inside of these rolls there.
And one of the good things about it, we found interesting, it's still a church being utilized for what it was built for. We saw people taking communion, we saw persons lighting candles, it was persons praying, the priest was there. It was an active church, and to know it's that old and being utilized was very, 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 very good.
Yeah, we'll put a link down into the description to the Hanging Church where you can maybe find out some more information on that if that interests you. But it was just unbelievable. The things over there are go back so much further, older and with civilization than what we're used to here in the U.S.
There was another interesting find as we explore Egypt, specifically Cairo. The Mosque of Muhammad Ali is located inside the citadel, and I'm going to go slow, Salah ad-Din Ayabi, Salindin in Cairo. All right, so this particular mosque has a very unique history of who gave it to Egypt, what happened, and the smile I'm having on my face and my voice was that a clock was gifted. And from the day they got the clock until now, the clock doesn't work. And that was part of the history. It's in the outer courts. And it's just as interesting. And they have a floating stairs. That's what you call it, the floating stairs?
It's called minbar, actually, the stairs. Yeah.
Yes. So, and it was the reverence that the tourists as well as the local had for this place was phenomenal. Nobody questioned whether they should have on something over their heads or take off their shoes. They just did it because it was the right thing to do, and it was just expected. So that was very good.
Yeah, the size of this, what just blew me away. The courtyard.
Oh, yes.
Inside the mosque, it was huge, as you can see in the pictures.
And it was pristine. It was clean. Not one bit of litter. And it was just... It's nice to see that we respect whoever religion that we walk into. That was good.
Take your shoes off to go inside on to the tile floor, which but man, it was very impressive, just the size. And then you think about how did they build this way back when it was built. Unbelievable.
And it was interesting as well, as one section was for female and one section was for male, and it was just. It's nice to see where we're coming from, the history and the reason behind it. So that was good as well.
Yeah, we're not doing this good justice, the story, but if you want to really see the story, because this is what this stuff, the history is about, the stories of how this came to be. Just unbelievable. So The Mosque of Muhammad Ali, we'll leave the link down below so you can really go check that out and dig into the history of that if you want to. So what's next on the list there?
The museum.
Yeah, the Cairo Museum, right?
And that was a find.
The Egyptian Museum in Cairo, I can tell you, it is just, jaw-dropping of all the old antiquities, the statues, the things we're used to seeing, like the King Tut, coffin and stuff, but there's so much more here. I mean, it gets down to they have the jewelry like earrings and rings and necklaces and the stuff the Egyptians wore, and then the mummification of animals is just unbelievable. They have a whole section, it's just animals in there. And you can spend, like I say, hours and hours in this museum. So we'll just let you take a gander at the pictures, and I can tell you it's just barely a sample of what's in the museum. After the museum, we visited a place that made papyrus paper, and they had these beautiful paintings and stuff, which we bought a painting. We have it in our living room right now, made with the papyrus paper. Pretty cool place to visit and see how that's done. So I'll let the video play with the gentleman showing us how they do that.
The ancient Egyptians used it to make many useful things like hats, boats, sandals, ropes, baskets, but we don't use it nowadays. We just use the inner white part to make the paper. We cut it into slices like this. It is so weak and it is soft because it contains a lot of water, sugar, and fibers.
Almost like foam.
Can you taste it? Can you eat it?
It's eatable, but it's not tasty like the sugar cane.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it has a sugar and it has fibers and it has a lot of water inside. To resolve this problem, so we use a rolling pin to squeeze the water, to push it out, to make the slice more strong and more flexible. You can see the water is coming out.
Definitely.
Some wives use a rolling pin as a weapon. Your wife uses it?
And we don't have a rolling pin. Yeah.
Sure, I know. In America, they prefer guns.
What?
Guns.
Yeah, pistols,
Guns?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Texas, that's what Texas
There's
does.
a lot
yeah.
of guns in Texas.
The Egyptian wife doesn't use this for the men.
Okay.
She uses this.
Yeah.
Now the slice became more strong
thin.
and flexible
Yeah.
than before. Now we can use it. We leave it here in the water for 1 week to get the white paper. 2 weeks to get the dark one like this
Okay.
to make a darker paper.
Okay.
Okay.
No difference between the white or the brownish.
So it
Just
turns-
the color. Yeah.
Longer you
The
leave it.
Longer we leave it, the darker we get white.
And it's pure water, nothing, no, just
pure.
water, okay.
After that, we arrange the slices in vertical and horizontal, exactly like weaving. We weave these slices together, and we don't add any additional, any chemical material
really?
or any chemical glue. Just the sugar inside plays with the glue to make it stick
Okay,
together.
yeah.
We complete the full sheet and we cover it, and we press it for another week. So, 1 week in the water or 2 weeks, 1 week under the press. The slices will stick together by the sugar. After a week, we get the first and the oldest sheet of
There's
paper
some.
ever in all the
Yeah.
history. Here in Egypt, you have to be careful because we have two types of this. Like everything in our life, we have original and we have imitations,
Yeah.
fake ones.
Oh, yeah.
The fake ones, you find it anywhere you go.
We enjoyed the papyrus store where we saw the process of how they actually make the papyrus papers, and pretty neat. After a few days in Cairo, we decided to do an optional dinner cruise on the Nile, and they had some great entertainment. They had this guy that was doing this twirling and stuff. It's pretty interesting. It was a good show. And then Diane got a chance to try, let's say, belly dancing with the belly dancer there. So I'll let the videos speak for themselves. So this does it for our time in Cairo. After that, we jump the overnight train and go to Aswan. But if you like this content, please like, subscribe, and share. And of course, we would love to hear your comments. So please leave some comments below. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And for DJ2 Living with Will Time, this is Dane, and I'm out.